What's up, guys? It's Reeb CS here. I thought I'd talk about Bitcoin. Some people have been asking me about it today. Keep in mind, I'm not a professional trader. I'm not really a trader, but I'm an investor in different things, and I know a little bit about charts. So there was all this talk earlier, this announcement from the White House. They talked about doing some kind of negotiations here with Iran. And there's some thinking, I'm not sure where it comes from, but some people seem to think that this is maybe something that boosted Bitcoin. But if you go back about 11 hours, it brings us to about, like 6 in the morning or so. And so if you look around this time at 6, I don't know exactly when it's 6, 11 hours ago, but if anything, it was down, and it just looked like kind of a classic head and shoulders pattern. We're just finishing forming our head. If anything, you would actually say after the announcement, I think that Bitcoin went down and continued to go down. It basically finished forming its head and getting a bit of a bounce now, and it's maybe forming a right shoulder. Looking at the announcement, I see all these things in the media here. I just don't see how this is substantiated that Bitcoin went up or something after this announcement. I don't see how it's a positive too. We'll have to see what happens. But on one side, the United States is saying that they're having negotiations. Iran's saying there are no negotiations. All we know is what situation on the ground, which is that the war is ongoing. It's escalating. There's a buildup of U.S. troops in the region. Aside from loss of life, why does this upset me personally? I mean, the most upsetting thing, if you look in the news here, I'll make another video about it, but apparently now the U.S. wants the Gulf countries, the Middle East countries, to pay for this illegal war. Even for no other reason, I really disagree with that because I have something to lose here. Being from the region, I don't want to lose out, and I don't want the countries in the area to lose their wealth because they're expected to finance a U.S. war that they did not ask for. So that's a bit crazy. In terms of the market, we'll have to see where Bitcoin goes. I mean, looking a bit further out here or on the weekly. Now, this is the real question. Again, people have talked about this. I'm 50-50 about what happened. Now, the war and maybe stock issues can push it down, but if you look at this, guys, so we peaked out here like 125, 126 or so, right? This, where we are now, is right in the range of the last cycle in 2021, right? We've got a lot of support in here, kind of like, through the 59 and up also in this last cycle to like the 70 range, right? So we're kind of right into support here. We seem to be holding. Anytime we've gone down to like 60, right, we've had a pretty strong bounce, even when it went down to like 63. So we're starting to make lower lows, but I mean, let's just say we look at the chart, not think about what could be happening. The chart, let's be honest here, it looks like it's making a right shoulder. But where I hesitate and wonder how far it keeps going down is that we have, again, all the support that we didn't have last time. We have support from the previous cycle. So I'd say my prediction is that, I think if the war hadn't happened, I think maybe the most you go is down to 50. And that still might happen. You might just bounce from there. It might get a bit worse, right? Depending what happens with the war and the economy. That is the only literal trump card, but we don't know about how this turns out. But as with any right shoulder, yeah, you do kind of expect that is going to break down at some point. But as I say, where I hesitate is there's a lot of support in here from this cycle and last cycle in the 60s. Maybe talk about last cycle. People thought Bitcoin might go to 5 or 10. If you look at it, Bitcoin went down to about 20, and that's really kind of the lowest it stayed at. Yeah, I know it went down to 15, but it didn't really stay there very long. So yeah, maybe you do get, in the worst case scenario, down into the 40s, 50s. I wouldn't think it'd be much longer, and that's because, again, if you look at the distance from here to here, I mean, we've already fallen quite a bit. We haven't also gone up as much. Bitcoin in the last cycle went up more than 3 times. This cycle, we didn't even get 2 times. So because we haven't gone up as much, I don't know if we're going to go down as much as well. So we'll have to see what that does. Maybe look at the moving averages, guys. But anyway, those are just the quick thoughts here. We can talk more about it later on. What do you guys think is going to happen? What do you think happens with this right shoulder? Do you think it keeps trading sideways? Do you think we break down and go into the lower 60s, 50s, or even 40s, or even 35, as some people are thinking? I'm in the middle camp here, but a lot of it does depend on things we can't be certain of, guys. Anyway, guys, yeah, all the best, and we'll talk later.